Tamara Vaifanua.
Sugar House Park back open this afternoon to traffic. There was some flooding there over the weekend.
Yeah, floodwaters reaching across the road, forcing the park to close to cars on Saturday. They say they are prepared to close it again today as preparations are underway for more flooding from Immigration Canyon. Forecasters at the National Weather Service say if you had problems near Immigration Creek during the last warm-up, double check those sandbags. Make sure they're in the right spot and keep an eye out for the rising waters.
Take a look at this. A large heavy metal
spring.
We have team coverage for you tonight. Let's get straight to news specialist Jed Bull. He is live in Salt Lake City, where officials there now believe a metal plate was to blame for the flooding in Sugar House last week.
Jed, we understand that metal plate was flipped in the wrong direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Police.
Residents of Cottonwood Heights preparing for what may come. See the work being done along Little Cottonwood Creek.
And voles are
safe cars.
Residents of Cottonwood Heights continue to prepare for what might be coming.
Yeah, the city sits at the mouth of Big and Little Cottonwood Canyons, where water is expected to eventually start rising. News specialist Dan Rascone joined us live right now. And Dan, people are wasting no time in preparation, are they?
Yeah, that's for sure, Mike and Deanie. All you have to do is show up at the Public Works Department here. You can see folks filling those sandbags, getting ready for what may come. Now, the biggest concern areas, of course, are those homes that sit right along Big and Little Cottonwood Creeks. That's kind of the danger zone, or what may become the danger zone. Right now, the creeks are looking pretty good. Water's not quite rushing yet, but it is expected to rise in the coming weeks. As you can see, homeowners have been building up sandbags all along the riverbed, not quite sure what to expect. They're also clearing out debris from their homes and making paths for where the water should go. It's a lot of hard work, but residents say it will be worth it once the snow up in the canyons really starts to melt.
I live in Cottonwood Heights, and like everybody else, we're a little worried about the runoff this year. So I brought my son out, and we're learning how to fill sandbags, and we're just going to put them by our driveway and be at the ready.
Yeah, Steve says he's been planning to get 35 sandbags a day until he starts to really see how things are looking. We also caught up with Dustin Armstrong, who is clearing debris around the back of his home there. He's hoping to get as many as 500 sandbags around his house. Now, back in 1983, during that big flooding season, before he even bought his home, well, apparently that property was underwater because it turned into a pond. A little worried about that. We'll have more from him coming up at 6 o'clock. In Cottonwood Heights, I'm Dan Rascone, live at 5.
All right, Dan, we were out there Saturday. I could see the sand's already gone down, so at least that means they're making progress.
That's a good sign, isn't it?
Residents need to be watching for.
If water goes over the top of the levee, you know, the game is lost.
Plus, with rising temperatures, a race against Mother Nature tonight to prevent flooding.
Spring runoff leads to
All right, Kristen, thanks. A race against Mother Nature in Cottonwood Heights as residents build their walls of sandbags to prepare for what may come.
Yeah, news specialist Dan Rascone joining us live right now. And Dan, like many cities out there, they are not sure really what to expect.
Yeah, what are they going to expect? It all depends on what Mother Nature does up in the mountains there as far as the snow melt. But you can see a lot of folks out here at the Public Works Department filling those sandbags so they can be ready just in case.
I'm clearing a line along the back property.
Dustin Armstrong is doing everything he can to protect his home.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of sandbags.
From the rush of water that is expected to come.
Probably going to take at least 500.
He lives right by Little Cottonwood Creek, which looks great right now, but that could all quickly change in the coming weeks, even though his home is not considered to be in a flood zone.
If water goes over the top of the levee, you know, the game is lost. Those FEMA maps don't apply anymore. Suddenly everything in here is flooded.
Karen Millen, who lives up the road, is doing the same thing. They've stacked a pile of debris the city is coming to pick up that's come from along the riverbed.
And if this bridge goes, it will quickly cause a dam, and it will flood everywhere.
And that's why the city's Public Works Department has opened its doors Monday through Saturday for sandbagging, allowing residents to build those walls of sandbags so they will be ready.
Like everybody else, we're a little worried about the runoff this year. So I brought my son out, and we're learning how to fill sandbags, and we're just going to put them by our driveway and be at the ready.
Yeah, everybody getting ready here. You know, Cottonwood Heights putting these little slick little devices here to kind of hurry the process to fill the sandbags. Once they're full, they say fill them about 3/4 of the way full, make sure they're plenty flexible. And then when you stack them, you know, stack them like a brick wall overlapping each other. Just a little tip there because they say a lot of folks have never even filled a sandbag before. Mike, Deanie, back to you.
Yeah, everyone's getting a quick, fast lesson in this one, aren't they? Hopefully they don't all need to be used, though, Dan. So, again, we'll have to wait and see. Thank you.
It's been one flooded location after the next lately. Over the weekend, Sugar House Park was almost unrecognizable, like a pool. It filled up with water. The park reopened to traffic today, but we wanted to know, is this kind of thing normal? Should it be cause for concern if it happens again? News specialist Katya Stepovic has some of the answers.
When seeing Sugar House Park full of water, it may seem scary to the average person, but hydrologists say this is exactly what the park was designed to do in these kind of conditions.
We haven't really seen Sugar House Park fill up with this much water in many, many years. So.
This weekend, you likely did a double take if you saw the amount of runoff that ended up in Sugar House Park from Parley's Creek.
If we were to grade Sugar House Park for doing the job it was built for and intended for, we should give it an A.
Glenn Merrill, hydrologist with the National Weather Service, says many of our parks are comparable to our reservoirs in the purpose they serve.
Sugar House Park it's what's called a detention basin. So it's designed to hold stormwater runoff in a safe as safe as possible, and then gradually release it over time to protect people and property downstream of that area.
So while the water is temporarily stored in intentional pockets around the state, hydrologists want to remind everyone that the spring season is just getting started.
And what we're seeing now, we're going to continue to see over the next several months. We need to be really cautious around that water. This water is running swift. It's running fast, cold, and high, and we really want to give the water its berth and practice safety around it.
For KSL 5 News, I'm Katya Stepovic.
Katya, thank you. Tonight we have a tragic and heartbreaking update as we learn that one of our colleagues at ABC4 has died from his injuries after being hit by a truck while covering a story. Station manager shared the news of veteran photojournalist Tracy Smith. He was hit by a pickup truck earlier this month near the mouth of Little Cottonwood Canyon. He died from his injuries nearly 10 days later. 61-year-old Tracy Smith worked in local news for more than 4 decades and is survived by his wife, Shauna.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers to his family. New tonight, West Valley Police.
When news breaks.
It's no joke, really, what this mudslide, the power that it has.
When floodwaters rise.
Things could change there and around the county.
KSL is on the scene.
7,000 sandbags all sewn up.
Team coverage around the clock.
They're also allowing residents to relocate.
Stay informed.
It's exactly what the park was designed to do.
Stay safe.
They're working now to prepare.
Stay with KSL TV and radio, on air and online. KSL, your breaking news leaders.